Ever had someone ask you, "How's work?" and you just freeze? Your brain goes completely blank. You mumble something like, "It's fine," and there's this awkward silence where you can feel the conversation dying?
Oh, mate, we've all been there.
What if there's a simple trick that makes answering this question feel completely natural and actually keeps conversations flowing? Because today we're giving you the exact responses that work.
And honestly, it's a game changer.
Welcome to Speak Fluent English Lab, where learning to speak fluent English feels simple and fun. I'm David.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lena.
We're so grateful you're watching with us right now.
Every like and subscribe makes it possible for us to keep creating these lessons for you. It genuinely means the world.
So if today's lesson helps you, and it will, please hit that subscribe button and drop a like. 2 seconds, that's all we ask.
And click the notification bell right next to the subscribe button. That way, you'll be the first to know when we upload a new English lesson. You won't miss anything. Most English learners think, "How's work?" is just a simple question that needs a simple answer. But that's the problem. When you give a boring answer, the conversation stops dead.
The real issue? Nobody taught you how to answer like someone fluent. You don't know the phrases. You don't know the rhythms. You don't know how to keep it flowing.
Which is exactly what we're fixing. In this lesson, you're going to learn 8 different ways to answer, from totally positive to completely honest to super casual.
You'll learn 3 powerful idioms that fluent speakers use without thinking, and the secret framework for turning a one-word answer into an actual conversation.
By the end, you won't just know how to answer, you'll know when to use each response, and your English will sound so much more natural.
Let's dive into the positive responses. But here's what most learners don't realize: positivity isn't one-dimensional.
You think it's just good or great, right? But there are actually multiple ways to signal positivity, and each one tells a different story.
So picture this. It's lunchtime. You're grabbing coffee with a colleague. You're in a good place mentally about work. But when they ask, "How's work been?" you face a choice.
Do you sound like you just had one good day? Or do you sound like you've been on a sustained positive streak? Because those are 2 completely different impressions.
And here's the psychological truth. When someone asks, "How's work?" they're actually scanning for patterns, not moments. So the first phrase you need is, "Work's been really great lately."
That word lately is critical. It signals a recent change or sustained positive period. Not just today, recently. That makes people lean in because there's a story there.
You say, "Work's been really great lately, actually. We just finished this massive project I've been working on for ages."
See what you did? You added a turning point. The project finished. Now things are better. That's a narrative people believe. That's why they ask more questions.
Because raw positivity without context sounds false, but positivity with a reason sounds earned.
All right, here's where it gets interesting. There's a second way to express positivity, and it's completely different in flavor. You're in a team meeting, everyone's settling in. Someone asks, "How are things?"
And in that moment, you could give the same answer. But what if you want to signal something deeper? What if you want to show genuine excitement?
That's when you use, "I'm excited about a new project we're starting."
This does something powerful. It shifts from "work is good" to "work is motivating me." When you sound genuinely excited about something specific, you're showing you're not just going through motions, you have purpose.
And here's the thing, people respect that energy. Excitement is contagious. People want to work with someone who brings that.
You say, Pretty well, actually. I'm excited about a new project we're starting. It's something I've wanted to work on for a while.
That answer doesn't just say you're happy, it says you have direction. You stand out, because most people are just fine.
And now, here's something different. There's a third way to sound positive, and this one captures team success and momentum. Imagine you're at a team meeting. Everything's working. Everyone's crushing targets. There's this energy. Someone asks, "How's work going?"
In that moment, you need something that sounds effortless and fluent.
So you say, "I've been on a roll with my team recently."
This is an idiom, which is crucial for sounding fluent. On a roll literally means something rolling downhill, smooth, fast, unstoppable. But it also signals something psychological.
When you say you're on a roll, you're claiming collective success. You're saying my team and I together. That builds credibility because you're not ego-focused, you're collaborative.
You say, "I've been on a roll with my team recently. We crushed our targets last month and everyone's in a fantastic mood."
Notice how that answer hits differently? You're not bragging, you're celebrating team wins. And using an idiom here signals you're fluent.
Now, let's shift gears completely, because not every week is amazing. Sometimes you're swamped. But here's the genius part. There's a way to be honest about difficulty that doesn't sound like complaining.
What if there's a way to communicate that you're busy without sounding like you're drowning? What if busy actually sounds like a good thing?
So imagine it's Wednesday afternoon. You're exhausted, multiple projects, your inbox is insane. A friend asks, "How's work?"
In that moment, you have a choice. Sound like you're drowning, or sound like you're managing. Your word choice determines which.
That's when you use "work's been a bit hectic, but in a good way."
This does two things at once. It's honest, you admit things are intense, but it reframes intensity as positive. That's psychologically powerful.
When you say something is challenging, but in a good way, you're signaling you've got it managed. You're building, not breaking. People respect that because you're capable.
You say, "Work's been a bit hectic, but in a good way. We're understaffed this month, but the energy is amazing, and we're getting things done."
You acknowledged the challenge, but you pivoted to progress. You're not complaining, you're problem solving. That's the energy of someone valuable.
But here's where things get really interesting, because sometimes being busy isn't just about workload. Sometimes it's about weight, about responsibility. Sometimes something has shifted.
So, imagine this. Your boss quit. You got promoted. Something significant changed. You're carrying more than before.
That's when the idiom comes in. I have a lot on my plate right now.
This captures the visual perfectly. A plate piled impossibly high with food. But here's the psychological difference. "I'm busy" sounds temporary and complaint-based. "I have a lot on my plate" sounds like you're managing something significant. It sounds mature.
When you use this phrase, you're saying, "Yes, I have serious responsibilities right now, but I'm aware, I'm handling it, and I'm okay." That shows self-awareness and competence.
You say, "Honestly, I have a lot on my plate right now. My boss left last week and I'm covering their responsibilities, but I'm managing."
That, "but I'm managing," crucial. It shifts from complaint to confidence. You're not asking for sympathy, you're asserting capability.
And here's the thing that separates good English from fluent English. There's a moment when you're not just managing, you're working hard, really hard. And you need a phrase that shows dedication without sounding exhausted.
It's Friday night. You're still working. A friend texts, "How's that project going?" The truth? You've been putting in the hours.
And you want to communicate something deeper than just busy. You want to show dedication. So you say, I'm burning the midnight oil these days.
This idiom has history. From candlelight and oil lamps, people worked into the night and burned expensive oil. It was serious. Today, it means you're working hard, often long hours, deeply committed.
But here's the psychological shift. It doesn't sound like complaining. It sounds like pride. Because you're not saying this is exhausting, you're saying this matters to me.
You say, thanks for asking. I'm burning the midnight oil these days on this product launch, but it's exciting stuff.
See what happened? You mentioned hard work, but tied it to excitement. You work hard on things you care about. That's magnetizing.
And here comes the final honest reframe. Because sometimes work is difficult, not because it's hectic or demanding, but because it's challenging you to grow. That's actually the most valuable place you can be.
You just switched jobs. 3 weeks in. You're outside your comfort zone. You're learning constantly. A friend asks, how's the new role?
You need a phrase that captures, yes, it's hard, but the hard is where growth happens. So you say, it's been challenging, but I'm learning a lot.
This reframes difficulty as growth, and that's psychologically powerful. You're not asking for sympathy. You're signaling you're resilient. You're evolving, not just surviving.
You say, it's been challenging, but I'm learning a ton. The pace is faster than my last role, and I'm definitely outside my comfort zone, which is exactly what I needed.
You're not complaining, you're celebrating growth. Because everyone respects people who face challenges and come out stronger.
But here's the final thing. Not every moment requires deep honesty or growth narratives. Sometimes work is just work. That's where our last response comes in.
Sometimes you just want to chat, and you don't feel like getting into details.
Friday afternoon. You're in the elevator, exhausted. You don't want a long story. A colleague gets in and asks, how's work?
In that moment, what's the perfect response? Something honest but completely breezy.
So you say, can't complain.
This phrase is genius. It says, yeah, there could be complaints if I wanted, but I'm choosing not to focus on them. It's not everything's great. It's just saying you're in a place where small stuff doesn't deserve energy.
And that communicates maturity. You're not pretending perfection. You're not dumping problems. You're being real and chill.
You say, can't complain, same old, and smile. That's it.
And notice how natural that feels. You're comfortable enough to not try too hard. And that's actually the most sophisticated communication, being yourself.
So here's what we've done today. We've shown you that answering how's work isn't actually simple.
It's an opportunity. It's a chance to communicate who you are, what you value, and how you see your life. The phrase you choose matters. Every response tells a story.
And now you know 8 different ways to tell that story. From pure positivity, to team momentum, to managing difficulty, to communicating growth, to staying chill.
Your homework this week: use at least 4 of these responses with real people, and really pay attention to how conversations change based on which phrase you choose.
You're going to notice something amazing when you give a real answer instead of, it's fine. The other person leans in. They ask follow-up questions. The conversation flows. That's because authenticity is magnetic.
If you use one of these phrases this week and notice a difference, drop a comment below. We genuinely read every comment and celebrate your wins.
And if you have friends learning English, please share this video. Let them know we're here creating lessons for people who want to sound natural, confident, and real.
Hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us so much.
Click the notification bell so you never miss a lesson and keep those English breakthroughs coming straight to your feed.
Thanks for spending this time learning with us today.
We are so grateful you're part of the Speak Fluent English Lab community.
See you in the next one.